Hi, everybody. Today's HR Huddle is with Daniel Baker, who is the College Unit Director and Financial Advisor with Northwestern Mutual. Thank you, Daniel, for joining us this morning. We appreciate your time and am excited to learn more.
Yeah,
So,
thanks for having me.
can you start out by walking us through what is Northwestern Mutual? What's the work that gets done there?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Northwestern Mutual, we're primarily a holistic financial planning firm. So, a lot of what I do, even if as a college unit director, I'm also a financial advisor. So, we all get to work with clients and we take more of a holistic approach with planning. So, we look at everything from planning around debt, budgeting, investments, insurance. So, we're really looking at it from a holistic approach, not just investments or not just insurance. We really like to look at all of that. So mostly the work that we're doing is sitting down with clients one-on-one, figuring out what's really important to them. It's different at every stage of life, of course. So if we're working with someone right out of college, usually we're focused on like how to pay down student loans and maximize benefits and start investing. And then someone that's closer to retirement, we might be working through a detailed retirement plan and putting together a really strong investment portfolio for them. So mostly around financial planning. And then a really big focus on for us is leadership development and developing others. So we're strongly focused on developing leaders in our company, helping others become leaders and just grow as people. And we get to spend a lot of time in our leadership platform working with other advisors just to help them grow their businesses and become professionals in the workplace.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
What positions do you hire for somebody that might be just graduating?
Yeah. So if you're just graduating, already graduated, we do hire for full-time positions and we also hire for the internship. And so we've got those two that's where primarily we look for. For the full-time position, do we actually have roles for as financial advisors that you can come in and learn to be a financial advisor and learn how to start your own practice and actually have support to do that. So we kind of call it our residency program. And starting out, you'd actually have a 5-year residency program to learn how to be a financial advisor and to build your own business and not do it alone. And so that's one opportunity we have out of school. And then actually something that I'm really passionate about is our internship program. And that's actually how I found my role here. I actually started in our internship program, and I did that for about a year and a half before I started here, and actually got to learn and get a head start in my career while I was in school and get paid for it and build my business while I was in school. So I'm really passionate about that. I actually run our program here in Zionsville, so I'm our college unit director there. And I get to work with interns one-on-one and developing them, teaching them how to do this role, how to grow as a professional. And one of the things that I found is really helpful is getting hands-on experience. I think that a lot of the individuals that I work with right now really value being able to be in a role where they actually get to do the job, not just some form of it, but actually do exactly what they'd be doing as a full-time financial advisor while they're in school. So we are pretty much always hiring for that role for the right person. I'm pretty selective on who that is, but for the right person, we're always hiring for that role as well.
So tell us a little bit more about what that right person might look like and what kind of skills and abilities they have.
Yeah, wow, great question. So the first thing that I really look for is I really want to be around people who are driven, that have a vision for the future, and that really want more than just a 9 to 5 job. And not that that's right or wrong. I think that everybody knows what they want, but that for those people that are like, hey, I really want to build something of my own. I want to do something really meaningful, and I want to pour everything I have and see what I'm capable of. Those are the types of people that we find do really well here and find this career to be really rewarding. Definitely a challenging career because you're building a business and you're kind of starting from the ground zero to build something. So it does take those qualities. And then another thing that I like to look for is people who just are optimistic and energetic. Getting to work and seeing that we work pretty closely together. I love to work with people that are just the go-getters, the people that have energy around what they're doing and are passionate about what they're doing, have that vision and say, hey, here's what I want. I want to go do it. And I want to build my business around my life, not my life around my business. And that's something that I really look for when we're trying to hire someone. And then kind of boiling that down to more finite skills, we look for those people who are really organized, that are again very driven, and we don't necessarily need somebody with a finance background. Again, we have a 5-year residency program, so we don't necessarily need those skills right away. We look for more of those soft skills, like how good are you at communicating with people? Are you good at do you have a reputation that when people look at you and say, yeah, this is somebody I could trust? as you can imagine, working with people's money in the financial advising field, trust is pretty important. So those people who are just like really good people that you can trust, we look for those things because again, you're working with clients managing their money. So I really look for those kind of people that I could say, hey, if I wasn't here and I had to pass on my clients, could I trust them with any of our interns? And I'm proud to say that any of our interns right now, I'd be happy for them to take my spot if I wasn't able to be here. So those are the things we look for.
Perfect. And then what about, well, you talked a little bit and hinted a little bit about career growth opportunities.
Yeah. So this is something else that's really exciting. And in Northwestern Mutual, there's quite a few different ways you can build your career. Typically, we all start as financial advisors working to grow our practices, but from there, you can actually grow into quite a few different roles. And one of the things that I love about the way we've structured our company is that it's all earned. So we don't have to wait for someone to retire to be able to get a position in leadership. It's actually about what the work you're putting in and if you're amplifying what everybody needs to be doing in that role. So when you're saying, hey, I'm leading by example and I'm leading myself, that's where we start looking at you and saying, okay, now you have leadership opportunity. And so from there, we start out building your own business. And one of the things you could do is say, you know what, I don't really want to go into leadership. I just want to grow my business and hire individuals to work with me. And you can build a really big team. And that's an unbelievable growth opportunity if you're more into the entrepreneurial business management side of things and you want to run a company, you can do that. Or you might say, you know what, I like leadership. I like going in and helping and developing others and kind of giving back on that front, but I still like working with clients. This is kind of similar to what I've done, where you can go into a leadership role and still work as a financial advisor. That's kind of the path that I'm on right now. I love working with clients, but I also love working with interns. So I actually get to spend about half of my time in each one of those spaces so I can work, and part of my days are in leadership and then in the opportunity to grow our office. The other part's working with clients. And then there's some people that say, you know what, I just love the leadership side of things. I really want to go in and just focus on developing, recruiting, and mentoring people that are in our company and help grow the company. And there's some individuals in our company that it's all they do. They don't actually work with clients anymore. They're more just in a role where they're either running an office or they're responsible for the growth of the state. And there's like you go into a managing partner role and be responsible for the entire state. And you can go into roles that are just responsible for 5 to 10 people. Kind of depends on what you're looking for, but those opportunities are there and they're all earned, which is something that I really like.
So I'm going to go off of my script and ask you a question because you started as an intern.
Yep.
What advice would you give to people who are thinking about becoming an intern, whether they're a business major or some sort of other arts and science major? Like, what advice would you give to somebody that is looking at internships with your company?
It's a really good question. So looking back, one of the things that I would say and working with so many interns, one, find something that really aligns with what you want. Think through, what do you want your life to look like? Are you a family oriented person? Are you an ambitious person? Is it about the money? Is it about the freedom? And get clear on what that is. I don't think it's wrong to say if you want to build a career where you can make good money, know that. And then look for internships that allow you to do that. And if it's not about that, if it's more about the balance, like, hey, I want a salary, I want to be able to just not take that stress home, and I want to find that balance, then find something that aligns with what you want. So I say get clear on that, and then find an internship that will give you that opportunity. For me, it was always about long-term opportunity. It wasn't just about resume building. If I was going to go invest a year into an internship, I'd really like to know that maybe I've got an opportunity to stay there full time. I would really like to have that opportunity. So when I was looking for internships, I always looked for something that had a long-term opportunity. So if I liked it, that I had that opportunity to build a career there. And then I wanted to know that the careers that they offered could give me the life that I wanted. And if I went and looked at some firms that just wouldn't give me what I was looking for, where they're like, yeah, we're not looking for people to build businesses and it's not entrepreneurial focused, it's more around just like, hey, you're part of a team and you're helping out grow someone else's vision. That's okay for some people, but that's not what I wanted. And so for my advice to you is just get clear on what that is, find that internship, and then when you do, have both feet in. And I see this a lot of times where someone chooses something and they don't give it a shot. And I think that every internship or job or any career opportunity that I've experienced, there's always that list of things you don't like about it, but it doesn't mean once you start that you shouldn't be all in on it. And so I would just say, like, if you're going to do it, go all in with it, follow it all the way through, try to be the best you can be at that internship. And that's where you're going to see if it's a good fit. And I can think of so many interns that have come through here, and the ones that have had the best experience, it wasn't because they were necessarily unique or like the best fit. It was just because they're like, you know what? I'm going to do everything I can to be the best at this. And they just had an unbelievable experience when they were all in on it.
Thank you for that. That was great advice, and
Good. Hope
our
that helps.
students need to hear that. So thank you very much
For
for
sure.
that. All right. So if there is an opportunity for somebody to relocate, is that
Yeah.
possible?
Yeah, that's another thing that I really like. So one, when you're doing this, you are running your own business. And the cool thing is with Northwestern is we have offices in every single state. I actually have one of our good friends is out in Hawaii, which I'm always really jealous about, that we have an office in Hawaii and he's doing advice. He's working with a lot of people in California and they're in Hawaii doing some stuff virtually. But I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. He's going on hikes, going down the beach, and then we've got other friends in New York and LA and Miami, and it's a really cool community of advisors, and we have offices in almost every single state. One of my really good friends here, he actually came from Chicago, built his business there, and his wife was from here in Indy. And he was just like, you know what, I think for the wife, I want to come here. And so he packed up, moved his business here to Indy to be with family, and he was able to bring his business with him. So there is a lot of opportunity to go wherever you want. It's mostly just focused here in the US just because of financial laws, but yeah, we have offices everywhere.
Perfect. And then last question, if somebody is interested, what would be their next steps?
Yeah, so I would say reach out to myself or Ellen on our team would be the best place just to reach out to us. And we're always willing to have a conversation. We have a whole team here just to kind of give you more information, let you know if this is a good fit, if you're like curious. Again, the biggest thing I get is a lot of people think you have to have that finance background. And that's not necessarily what we find is the key to success here. It's more the people that want to build something entrepreneurial, ambitious. If those are the qualities you have, might be something that's worth looking into. And I would say just reach out to us and we can have a conversation, answer some questions you might have. And I can give you give our email just to reach out and we'll answer any questions you have.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time this morning
Yeah.
and your willingness to sit down with us and talk about Northwestern Mutual and specifically internships, and the knowledge about internships was fantastic. So thank you again from all of us here at Marian University.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited we got to do this.
Thank you.
Yeah.